Hey, I'm Lucca Starnino, and I came 8th at the most recent Montreal Regional, playing Branded. The deck was good, it was consistent, no complaints. Before we get into the profile, I'd like to shout out Card Brawlers and Alex for helping me get all the cards I needed for the deck. So starting off, we have the Despias, so 3 Aluber, 1 Tragedy, and 2 Quem. These are pretty standard. Quem is always treated as a Dogmatica and a Despia, even in Graves, so it's important to take into account when activating cards like Branded and Red. Next we have 3 Fallen Vabas. You just want to max out on this card. It's good to draw, it's good to have in your deck for like the grind game with Branded Fusion. 2 Cartasia, this card is really good for me. I considered bumping it up to 3, and I think for the next event I might do that. 3 Albion, the Sharded Dragon. This is a really good card, helping you dig deep into your deck, helping you like recycle your branded spell traps or get them into rotation. It's also treated as Albaz and Grave, so you can do some cool plays with that. 1 Spriggan's Kit. It's important to realize about this card is you can add back banished spell traps, so you can actually add back Retribution for like just more grind game and follow-up. We play 1 Bestial Sarnier and 1 Libellion, just like engine requirements for when you don't draw a hand of like Aluber or Branded Opening and you have to like access Branded Fusion through Cartasia. And Libellion is just 1 off the dump of Branded Fusion. The Courier, it's to search off Lost. It's also good in combination with Allure of Darkness. Gaming Puppet, it's a Gaming Puppet. I'll have to explain that. For the spells, playing 3 Brand Fusion, it's the best card in the deck. You have to play 3. 2 Brands in Red. This card is good at like dodging hand traps and helping like Gaming Puppet lock through hand traps. 2 comes up in the grind, and it's just never about to draw. 3 Branded Opening, consistency. You can summon or add Despias. So in time, if your opponent tries to like Dogwood you and you activate Opening, you can actually add the card to your hand instead and then go to end phase, which halves their life points. 3 Brandon High Spirits, just more engine. It's nice because every turn, it is hard only once that turn. But in like stun matchups, you should get this card and Cartasia to your hand every turn in the end phase, basically, which is really good for like the grind game, especially against Runic. The 1 Lost, I mean, this is just a broken card. Your opponent can't interact when you fusion summon. You can activate the effect like Mirror Jade on summons, just make it so like they completely can't interact and their board gets broken. 3 Deployment, you can summon Cartasia going first with this to play around hand traps, and going second you summon Albaz to help break their board. 3 Allure of Darkness. It's just good for like digging deeper into your deck, drawing like your board breakers, which we're about to see. 3 Forbidden Droplet. This is probably like the best card today. Won me a lot of games, especially when like trying to resolve Albaz to fuse. If they like, for example, Appaloosa negates, you can just chain Droplet, negate the Apple, and then fuse off a different like extra deck monster, and basically their board's gone at that point. 3 Triple Attack. Good going first, good going second, helps break boards, helps draw into more engine to help play through like Ash Blossom. Thrust, again, same as Talents, but it's a bit better at playing through Ash Blossom because you can set cards like Duplication. And for the 1-ofs, Golden Sarcophagus and Called By. Golden Sarcophagus is one of the best cards, in my opinion, because in like slower matchups, especially on like a regional level, a lot of people are just playing like stun on slower decks. You can add cards like Forbidden Droplet or banish cards like Forbidden Droplet, and in a couple turns you just add it back to hand. That's what I did in one of my matches versus Stun. I banished it and just waited 2 turns, got it back to hand, activated it for 3, and then just OTK'd. And then finally for the traps, Retribution, engine requirement, really good in grind games. Also the effect to negate as a counter trap is also really good, that came up a couple times. And Duplication is a 1 if you set off Thrust to help play around Ash. Now for the extra deck, for the Albaz Fusions, we're playing 2 Mirror Jade, standard. Albion, it's for getting Puppet Lock, and also you can summon it versus Runic. and it cannot be targeted, so it helps like play around cards like Inspector Border or like other like normal summon floodgates. So these are standard, the One Rinbrum, Titaniclad, and Lubellian. But I decided to play Albalanetus because in testing, this is really good against Tenpai, because when you make them go first, even their board is still is a bit sticky because they have like the seals and just like the green and white dragon. So you can just set Albaz and you're basically forced to use your spheres because you're just going to summon this and then just clear their board. Also, it's just good to have an extra deck because like in grind games, the more monsters you have an extra deck to send off Mirror Jade, the better. 2 Grand Guignol for Cartasia. And then the Borload, this card was like the MVP of today. I played against a lot of stun, and this card just deals with like the floodgates and stun so effectively. Despian Critus, it's the target you're going to summon off Grand Guignol. This card like interacts really well against Voiceless Voice and Appaloosa. And Predaplant and Chimera as the last one for the extra. For the side, we have the 3 Bestials. Good against Voiceless Voice, the Branded Mirror, and it does have applications versus Snake Eye because you can hit like the IP. They're going to try to spell trap. Harpies is for Thrust for like back row matchups. Dark Ruler, again, all these cards you can search off Thrust. It's just a good board breaker versus like Voice's Voice and like other rogue decks like Sprite. Change of Heart is for Thrust. Versus Pure, you can like take Dissipator, and that basically like almost just wins you the game on the spot because you have a negate and it's like an extender, and you just took away one of their interruptions. Cosmic for back row decks. And then D-Barrier. So D-Barrier, you can search off Thrust. It just like completely stops Voiceless Voice, the Branded Mirror, and Tenpai, which were decks I thought were going to be highly represented at this regional. And lastly, we have the Masquerade for time. That's my deck profile. Remember to buy all your singles at cardbrothers.com using Hakuna 5.